Welcome to Couch Tunes. It's just me today. It's exclusively me, just Garbo. I thought that in honor of Halloween coming up, I'd play a horror game. Actually, I thought that, we'd play a horror game. Me and you. So this is going to be a little bit different from a typical Couch Tunes episode because I don't know how well I can carry on a conversation by myself. So I have here next to me a list of talking points, certain things I might want to bring up, and the very first sort of topic I have written down here is about lost episodes. So back in the very early days of Couch Tunes, the very first online recording session, right after we had finished recording Kirby. Oh, I forgot all the controls. Right after we finished recording the first session of Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, I played Punch-Out for the Wii. And that video was just completely unusable, because in that entire session, you couldn't really hear me anyway, but you especially could not hear anyone in that episode. At the very best of times, you could faintly hear Jack and Koda, and there was absolutely no way that you could hear me. Game audio completely unusable. And for a very long time, that was actually our only unusable video, the only lost episode. Even though many of the episodes in that session, it would have been better maybe if they were scrapped, because the audio was completely horrible. Until we tried several times to play Castle Crashers, which is one of my favorite series on the channel. We recorded that in, I believe, only 2 sessions, but we had tried to play it 2 sessions before that, and it completely was not working. It was not cooperating when we tried to record it. And then like post that, the episode, we had started it before, and we realized only partway through that it was not recording the visuals. And so there's actually a bit of that I left in the main episode, but generally speaking, you can't find any of that. And then, so Juck and I, whenever we can't record something, wow, look at that guy, I forgot about that. Whenever we can't record something, we usually play something on SNES Online. And most of the time we sort of look through games before inevitably deciding on Mario Picross. I had to go get a drink. I've only been talking for 4 minutes, and I was already sort of thirsty, which is a very bad sign of what's to come. Before that, I was talking about how Jack and I would always pretty much inevitably decide on Mario Picross, but we usually sort of look at games before that. So there have been several, I guess, warm-ups to Mario Picross or tennis recording, where we do not use what would effectively be an episode. And then the final unused episodes are the first and second time that that this was recorded. So the very first time was an online session. Koda and Juck were here, but I was the one playing. That I still have, and I'm going to upload completely independently. of this episode. It's about 45 minutes, it's just the audio, but we make some pretty good jokes. And the second time I tried to play this, and I realized that it was not working. So this is the third time I am playing through this part of the game, but don't let that fool you, I am still not very good at it. And I forgot about that. So I am not a PC gamer. I have no idea how to play games like this very well. I do not do it very frequently, and when I do, I am very bad at them. Unfortunately, I am the one who will be playing this game. So even if I'm not very good, there's really not much to be done about that. This part, especially, took a very long time for me to do in the initial playthrough of this, but apparently, practice makes perfect. I have just done that perfectly, as I have practiced it. That's what practice makes perfect means. Well, that was, as I was saying, not very good. Really, really, really not. Oh, great, we start back here. Beyond the first 45 minutes of this, I know pretty much nothing about this game. I have seen a Let's Play of the second game, and I know that this character is, I guess you would call it the deuteragonist. It is an NPC, as far as I can tell. I have no idea what this character is, what they want, but here they are. So I'm gonna talk a lot about what I guess you could call trivia, Couchdane's trivia, because that's what I know best. I am the one who names all the episodes. I make all the thumbnails, I edit the vast majority of them. So I like to put little... I keep track of a lot of the stuff that's sort of been going on. So, for example, there is a series of episodes on the channel of, I believe it's 3 different series, entitled Juck, Koda, and Garbo Talk Tanks. It's really, really dumb. I don't know, it was, I think Juck came up with the initial title in a Kirby episode, and I thought that it was so dumb that we should use it several times over. And then beyond that, there's a couple other series of episodes. So there is a series of episodes where each of us leaves just part way through. I believe one of them's a Mega Man episode and one of them's a Minecraft episode. I can't even begin to say which one Juck leaves in, but if you search up Juck leaves, you might find it. I don't know if you will, though. Seems unlikely to me. Yeah. Oh, great. This rope bit. This rope bit was quite an issue the first time we played. I think I probably came through this section 3 or 4 times. And I just kept falling. I had no idea why, but it's because you have to hold D because you're moving that way. I'm really, really bad at video games. Generally speaking, let alone PC games. So the next talking point I have written down here is pre-first episode Couchdanes. So the like very first ideas behind making a YouTube channel. So I guess this idea goes back of like an extraordinarily long time, because like our generation sort of YouTube is sort of a constant. It is always an ever-present aspect of our lives, pretty much. In fact, there is not a single day that has gone by on Earth where YouTube did not exist that I was also alive. So seeing this fairly easy to get into style of media, as it, every kid wants to be an actor. I want to be a YouTuber. The issue with that, obviously, is that not everyone is cut out for this. As you can tell, I'm very bad at, well, everything, apparently. Game over number 2. I'm not going to be keeping track of that, but I figured I'd mention it. So, in about March 2021, the 20th of March specifically, was the first time that we had recorded, and the only sort of stopgap was we were waiting for a fairly affordable capture card, and then I had to wait for it to arrive in the mail. And then after we had actually gotten the capture card, we were good to go. We sort of made all the channel branding in the months leading up to that moment, and then it sort of developed from there. I changed the thumbnails, how they look half-ish way through season 1, which we are in. This is season 1. There is definitely going to be a season 2, and I have a lot to say about that, but I think I'll save it for another episode. So we knew, I think it was back in August 2020, that what we wanted to do was a new Super Mario Brothers Wii Let's Play. I think it was Juck who initially suggested it, and he said because all great multiplayer Let's Play channels have a playthrough of it, and he's pretty well right. It's pretty much the quintessential multiplayer game. You look back, like co-op, definitely, at least. I can't think of one that I think would be more fitting of that, deserving of that title, I suppose. I have no idea where this is. I seem to remember having to go this way, but I guess I was incorrect. I only played up to this part the one time. I didn't do this one twice. Yes, so before 2021, we already sort of had a general idea of how this was going to go. And it's developed quite a bit since, I guess what you could call our initial vision. We never really thought we were going to have seasons of Couch Danes, and well, that makes sense because that's completely ridiculous. Who would have seasons? And, well, the answer was us. We would. Alright, so I have another one here. It's, oh, I wanted to discuss the missed episodes of 2020. How we, in the months since 2020 has started, we have missed, like upwards of 3 months of videos, of uploads. And in the entire first year, March 2021 to December 2021, we did not miss an upload, or if we did, we made up for it. And it's just been a lot more difficult to get together to record this year. In January I was sick, and then since then I've we all have our own schedules. They don't really line up. That was a very, very good move. I thought I was going to die again. And then the issue is if we can't really record, generally speaking, I don't like to record alone. I think I actually have tried this once or twice, but I wouldn't call those lost episodes because they were never going to be episodes. I can't move. There we go. I have not really been speaking about the game. It's because I've exhausted all I have to say about this from the first time I played through it, and a lot has happened. It's not as scary when you've already seen it, and I'm not really one to get scared at horror games, generally speaking. You may disagree if you listen to the audio of the original version of this episode. One thing is for sure, I'm going through this much faster than I initially did, and that's because I'm not stopping and fooling around. It's not. I don't know if if that will persist. I can't imagine it will. That's how I play video games. But yeah, and it's really difficult to maintain this conversation and also think of interesting things about this game. I didn't know you could do this. I wonder what's going to happen. Oh, he's going to do it just like that anyway. That kid, that's my friend. My favorite of all of the characters in this game is the one who gives you the bread. Because as my father taught me, let's get this bread. So, I mentioned earlier that there was an upcoming second season of Couch Danes. It'll be pretty much the same in terms of the style of videos. We're not really changing anything up. It's the same three of us. We're doing pretty much the same thing. Playing video games, having a laugh. It's just how it is. But there is a lot of new things. So, one thing, we have a new show in the works. I'm not going to say anything about it, but from the time this episode goes up, that should only be maybe a week, maybe 2 away. And that's, I think, really exciting. I didn't know you could do that. Hold on, is it going to clank? Yeah, that's a very high drop. A new show. This show, it's edited by me as well, but I am not one of the members, and neither are Jack or Koda. It is a Let's Play series ran by 2 of our recurring guests, I suppose, although from what I know, actually, they've only both been on in one session, so perhaps recurring is the incorrect word. That was a good move. I also want to talk about game night. I don't know if that'll be really coming back. I always sort of liked playing those game night games, but each of the episodes always sort of, it didn't flow very well. There were too many people. There was too much empty space. It didn't go super well. So I'm personally really excited about the second season because it means that we can get into all sorts of new games that we haven't really been able to play since we started Xenoblade. We've been mostly focusing on that. It definitely would have been over by now if we could have recorded more frequently, especially since, as I just mentioned, it was what we were only focusing on, but of course, that's not how it works. I was actually talking to Juck very briefly. I think I just sent him a message, and it's if you include episode 0 of Miitopia, our Xenoblade series will only be 1 or 2 episodes longer than Miitopia, and you know, from what I've heard, Xenoblade's quite a long game. Again! I've done it again! What a... I am very bad at video games. I think I've made that point clear. And if I haven't, there you go. Alright, so on the Season 2 front, there will be a couple of changes. So, one, there will be an intro and an outro at the beginning and end of episodes. The outro at the beginning, of course, that's how it works. There's your first joke, 25 minutes in. That's not 25, that's the number 21. And I don't want to hear any complaining about this video. If I even have one negative comment, Juck's gonna get it. This is a threat. So, there's a new intro and outro. I figured out that on the software I use to make our thumbnails, there's an option for animations. So, you know, that sort of prompted that. We got one of our other friends, who I'm going to refer to here as Dark Mage because I think he'd prefer that. I am really, really bad at this part. There's just too many buttons. Gotta push Shift A, space at the right time. It's cuckoo crazy. That's what I have to say about that. Who said? What character says that? That's Forrest Gump. He says that's all I have to say about that. I think. Now that's a good movie, Forrest Gump. I think I've only seen it maybe once or twice. I just think one time, but you know, it's there's a reason why Tom Hanks is regarded as such a good actor. He oh boy, remembering that movie, it's good. Bet Juck's never seen that. I'll have to ask Koda if he has. Ooh. Oh yes, I remember. Watch this. You can fall over if you do that. Really, really fun. That's the wrong button. There we go. Now that was completely ridiculous. Also, maybe not even the right thing to do. Was this for later? Am I getting the order mixed up? Oh boy. I have forgotten what to do. So we will be so one of the changes, a new intro and outro, as I mentioned, we'll be prioritizing recording more so than what we've sort of had now, which you know, as I mentioned, our schedules don't often line up. Oh yes, that's what I do. What a fool am I. Honestly, just friggin' hang me. We also sort of have a podcast in the works. I don't really know if that's going anywhere, but I'd really like it to. I like the concept. It's well, it's a podcast. I guess it's really not that big of a it's not really a novel concept. We didn't come up with it. It's what I'd call a tale as old as time. This podcast, it's also sort of been in the works for a while. We've discussed it. There's already been technically 2 episodes, if you really want to count that. It's not good, but that will change. Oh, hey, guess what? You gotta jump. There may be more compilations in the 2nd season, especially of the games that we finished here in the first season. We didn't record last year over the Christmas break. I just uploaded compilations. And the final talking point I have for this episode is our behind the scenes, I guess, if you will, series Behind the Couch. Right now it's only been 2 bonus episodes. But I think that with the start of some other things going on behind the scene, there can definitely be more of that show. Alright, so thank you for watching, and that's been me.